Hello everyone, good day from wherever you're watching. You're all welcome to the Renewed Parenting. My name is Choma Odikulo and I refer to myself as a renewed parent, a masterpiece and a work in progress. So thank you for joining me today. I do not take your time for granted. So you're welcome to class today. So today we'll be discussing about 15 ways on how we can support our child or our children to be lifelong learners. Yes. So who is a lifelong learner? A lifelong learner is a child or someone who continuously seek new knowledge, new skills, new experiences, and new opportunities. Is someone who is motivated, who is willing to learn, who is curious to learn and to grow. And is someone who is not just limited by formal education, is someone that seeks to learn from every situation and every opportunity. That is who a lifelong learner is. So as parents, how can we help our children to be lifelong learners? I have 15 ways here we can help our children to be lifelong learners. Number one, we have to cultivate a love for reading. It's our duty as parents to cultivate the love for reading in our children. How can you do this? You can do this by setting stipulated time for reading. You can do this by buying books that interest your child. You can do this by reading out loud to your child. You can do this by visiting the library, regular visit to the library, going to the library, sitting down with your child to read a book, picking a book with your child, just looking for means or avenues you can read to your child. That is one of the ways as parents we can help our children to be lifelong learners. Number two, we have to encourage our children to be curious and ask questions. Yes. One of the ways our children can be lifelong learners is when they are curious, when they ask questions. But the thing is that most of us as parents, we're not even willing or ready to answer the questions of our children. Most times we get tired, you're stressed, you're not even ready to even talk, and your child is asking you lots of questions. But those questions your children are asking, it tends to build they are just curious. That is why they are asking. And the more they ask, the more they know, the more they develop the love to learn. So that is one way we can help our children to be lifelong learners. So don't shut your child down. Even if you're tired as a parent, you're not willing to answer the questions of your child in a particular time, you can tell your child to give you some minutes or some time to rest, and you revisit the questions. But we should know that when our children are curious, when we give them opportunity to ask a lot of questions, it builds the love for learning within them. Then number three, we have to set up a learning friendly environment for our children. Yes, it's our duty to set a friendly environment for your child to learn. How is the environment of your home? How is the space in your home? Does it foster learning? Does it even encourage the child to learn? Does it even encourage someone that just, that doesn't even have the interest to learn? Does it create the right environment or the right situation for your child to just want to learn? You can do this. You can create the right environment by you can get a reading table, you can get reading materials, you can make your child reading items, their books, their craft items, their pens accessible, just creating the right space where your child can sit down, and learn and probably do their homework and do their assignments. So how is the space in your home? If you want your child to be a lifelong learner, you have to create an environment that is friendly to learn. Then the fourth way is to integrate learning into everyday activities. Integrate learning into everyday activities. Integrate learning in cooking, integrate learning in gardening, integrate learning in fun. When your child is outside playing, integrate learning. Every opportunity you get, integrate learning in it. It will make learning not to be bored. It will make learning to be fun. It will make learning to be interesting for your child, and by that, the child just tends to have this love to want to learn more. So don't make learning look so serious. Don't make it look like the child has to be seated, everything has to be just ready for my child to learn. Make learning to be fun. Integrate it into everyday activity you do with your child. Then the fifth way is to encourage exploration and hobbies, is to encourage our children to explore, definitely with proper supervision, and to encourage our children to participate in hobbies. What is that thing you can see that your child likes? What is that thing you can see that your child is good at? Encourage your child to do it. The more you encourage your child to do it, the more you incorporate learning into the hobby of your child. For example, your child likes to jump. While jumping, you can incorporate learning. You can incorporate maybe math concepts. You can incorporate spelling. You can incorporate reading while the child is jumping. Your child likes to do a particular activity. Your child likes to craft. You do crafts. Incorporate learning into crafts. Your child likes to swim. Incorporate learning in swimming. Your child likes to do outdoor games or activities. Incorporate learning into it. Your child likes to sing or likes to dance. Incorporate learning into it. Yes, when we do that, our children tend to see learning as fun, and by doing that, they tend to have this love to want to learn, to want to grow the more. Then the other way we can incorporate or encourage our children to be lifelong learners is to model lifelong learning. Yes, as parents, we have to model lifelong learning to our children. You have to model that you're a lifelong learner. How can you model you're a lifelong learner? You have to model to your child that you're willing to learn. You have to model to your child that you're willing to read. You have to model to your child that you're doing update courses. You're growing. You're doing something. You're not just fixed. The same level of knowledge you had 2 days ago is same. You have to model to your child. Your child should be able to see that my parents are lifelong learners. Your child should be able to see that my mom and my dad are studying, they are reading their books, they are attending courses, they are taking notes, they are doing things that will make them grow. They are doing things that will make them better. When you model lifelong learning to your child, it's very easy for your child to pick it up. So what is that thing you want your child to do? Model it to your child. Do you want your child to read? Model reading to your child. Do you want your child to have proper structure? Model proper structure to your child. What is that thing you want your child to do? You want your child to be a lifelong learner. Then model it to your child. Seek every opportunity as a learning opportunity for yourself first. Then, the other way we can help our children to be lifelong learning is to make learning fun and engaging. Make learning interesting. Come from the strength of your child. You know your child best. As a parent, you're the only one that can tell more or tell about the strength and the weakness of your child. Start with what your child is strong at doing. Start with the strength of your child and make it fun and engaging. Don't come from the point of weakness, rather come from the point of strength to weakness. What is that thing your child likes to do? Then start from there and make it fun and engaging. When you make it engaging, you tend to create this longing. Your child is motivated, your child is willing and want to engage the more, and the more they engage, the more you're building something in them to be lifelong learners. Then the other way we can help our children to be lifelong learners is to teach them critical thinking skills. And how can we do that? We can teach critical thinking skills by asking them open-ended questions. We should not always ask our children closed-ended questions. Always ask your child open-ended questions. Ask your child questions that will make them to think. Ask your child questions that will make them express themselves. Ask your child questions that will make them to talk more, to express themselves the more, to dig deep into the conversation you're having with your child. For example, your child just came back from school, and when you ask your child how was school, definitely your child will tell you fine, school was fine, or school was good. Almost everybody will do that. But what if you begin to ask deep and specific questions? What if you ask your child, okay, can you tell me something important that happened today in school? What was the highlight of your day in school? Was there anything that made you angry today in school? Was there anything that made you happy today in school? Can you tell me more about it? When you ask your child open-ended questions, it makes the child to think critically. By doing that, you're helping the child to be a lifelong learner. You can also get some puzzles. There are some puzzles, there are some games, there are some activities you can do at home with your child that can help your child to be a lifelong learner. Then the other way is to encourage goal setting. Yes, we should encourage our children to set personal goals, spiritual goals, academic goals, learning goals. Just encourage your child to set goals, because the more they have goals, the more they have something they are looking up to, the more they want to be better, the more they want to improve, the more they want to learn, the more they just want to keep moving. But when a child doesn't have a goal, when a child doesn't even have an objective or where the child is going towards, you find that at some point the child is just relaxed. The child is not moving forward. But when you encourage your child to set goals, you find out that the child has something he or she is looking up to, and by that it helps the child, or it builds the child up to be a lifelong learner. Then the other way is to promote a growth mindset. Our duty as parents is to encourage our children to promote or to have a growth mindset, not to have a fixed mindset. An example of a growth mindset is, okay, I did not really do well probably in my maths last term, but I know with studies, I know with practice, I can do better. And the child goes, start to learn, start to practice, start to do what he or she needs to do better. But a fixed mindset is someone that will tell you, oh, I know I can do it. I'm very good in mathematics, so I don't need to read. I'm very good in English, I don't need to read. I'm so good, I don't need to do this. We should encourage our children to have a growth mindset, because when your child has a growth mindset, your child will always want to grow. Your child will always want to improve. Your child will always want to be better than he or she was previously. So that is one way we can encourage our children to be lifelong learners. Then the other way we can help our children to be lifelong learners is to connect learning to real life. We should connect learning to real life, connect learning to daily activities. For example, some people will tell you, why do I need to learn mathematics in school? But as a parent, when you tell your child that mathematics is all about problem solving, and you bring it down to the level of your child, and you tell your child, can you solve this problem? You can solve this problem because of the knowledge you get from mathematics. Mathematics is all about helping you solve your daily problems. When you bring learning into real life, the child doesn't see it like, oh, it's something so big, it's something vague, it's something just outside. The child begins to associate it to, okay, his or her daily life, and the child will begin to have this love, this hunger to want to learn more. Because if learning is associated to my daily life, if it's associated to something I do on a daily basis, definitely the child will want to know more. The child will want to learn more, to be able to connect what he or she is learning to real life, scenarios or real life events. Then the other way we can encourage or help our children to be lifelong learners is to support emotional well-being. We should support our children to be emotionally stable, because obviously an emotionally stable child is a child that can learn. A child that is not emotionally stable will not want to learn. For example, if your child is throwing tantrum, your child obviously is not even listening to what you're saying, because maybe the child has his or her emotion high up. Maybe the child is angry, the child is sad. Anybody that is angry or sad is not even willing to learn, or is not even in the right frame of mind to learn. But when we encourage our children to be emotionally stable, when we teach them how to manage their emotions, it trickles down to support their lifelong learning. Because when they are emotionally stable, when they can navigate through difficulties, when they can navigate through challenges, when they can navigate through hard situations, it builds them up to learn. But for example, when a child has gone through a difficult situation, for example, a child has not really done well in his or her results, and the child is emotionally down, definitely the child will not want to learn. But when the child is able to see past his or her challenges, when the child is able to navigate, and come out through this challenge and be able to, bounce back, the child will be in the right frame of mind to learn, thereby helping the child to build and to be a lifelong learner. Then the other way we can help our children is to celebrate learning achievements. We should learn to celebrate the achievement of our children, no matter how little it is. Learn to appreciate your child. Learn to celebrate the achievement of your child. It might not be where your child wants to be. It might not be where you want your child to be, but provided the child is making progress. Provided your child is making progress, learn to appreciate it. Provided your child is making an effort, learn to appreciate the effort, even if it's not beautiful, even if it's not the best of results, but there is an effort, there is an intent, there is a will to do better. Learn to celebrate, your child. It just builds them up that, okay, I can go further, I can do better, I can do greater things. But when you don't celebrate the achievement of your child, you just kill the spirit of that child. And sometimes the child might not be willing or motivated to learn again. Then the other way we can help our children to be lifelong learners is to nurture independence and responsibility. It's our duty as parents to nurture and teach independence and responsibility to our children, and it starts from when your child is very young. Even a 1-year-old can be taught responsibility and independence. Even a 2-year-old can be taught responsibility and independence. It starts from when they are young. They pour water on the floor. Your toddler or your child spills water on the floor. Don't go and bring the mop to clean the water. Allow the child to clean the water him or herself. It starts from very little things. Your child is doing his or her assignments. Allow the child to try. Allow the child to make efforts. Don't be there to always, do it for the child. Allow the child some form of independence and some form of responsibility. Let the child take responsibility for his or her action. Your toddler has just finished playing with his or her toys. Allow them to pick it up. It teaches them responsibility. And when they are responsible, when they are independent, in the long run, it helps them to be lifelong learners. Then the other way we can help our children, to be lifelong learners is for us as parents to stay involved in their education. Be involved in the education of your child. Be involved in the school of your child. Be involved in the studies of your child. As parents, how involved are you in the studies of your child? How involved are you in the school or the education of your child? Do you even know the name of your child's teacher? Do you even know the name of the class your child is in? Do you even know the name of the school? Do you even know the address of your child's school? Do you even know the curriculum your child will be studying in the next term? Do you even know what your child takes to school? Do you know the strength of your child? Do you know the subject your child is struggling with? Do you know the subject your child is good at? How involved are you in the education of your child? If you want to raise a lifelong learner, you have to be involved as a parent. If you want your child to be motivated to learn from every situation around them, you have to be involved in the studies or in the education of your child. So how involved are you? What is that thing you need to do to get you involved in the studies of your child? Go back and see the areas you need to go and start to work on. Go back and see the areas of the education of your child you need to come in. You need to be fully involved. As a matter of fact, when your child is in a school, you're also in that school. You should also be in that school. You should be involved. You should know everything happening about your child's education. You should even know your child's friends. You should to some extent know the names of the children in your child's school. So how involved are you in the studies of your child? An involved child, an involved parent will definitely raise a child that is a lifelong learner. Because when your child sees that, oh, my parents are involved in my studies, in my education, everything about my school activity, definitely it's just normal for the child to be motivated. It's just normal for the child to want to do better. It's just normal for the child to want to, sometimes your child will want to even please you. Your child will want to go the extra mile, to achieve more. So if we want our children to be lifelong learners, we as parents have to be involved in the studies, in the education, in the activities, and in the life of our children. So what is that thing you will begin to do today as a parent? What is that thing you begin to implement today as a parent? If you want to raise a lifelong learner, which I believe that is the goal and the objective of a good number of parents, we need to start to put in the work now to raise lifelong learners. And we as parents we also need to model that we are lifelong learners first for our children to pick and emulate. So I believe you've got value from this class. Please like this video, please share this video, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And lastly, I have a special announcement for you. I'll be organizing or hosting a 21 days challenge for parents that want to grow, parents that want to do better, parents that want to improve generally in their personal life, in their relationship with their children, all around, talking about a whole lot of things for 21 days. So please watch out for the announcement. Very soon the announcement will be out there. Just watch out for it. I'm sure it's going to bless a whole lot of parents. I'm sure it's going to benefit you in one way or the other. Please listen and just get ready to plug into this 21 days challenge that we at in the Renewed Parents Academy or in the Renewed Parenting platform are organizing. Thank you very much for listening to me. I really do appreciate your time, and I do not take your time for granted. Remember to be renewed in your mind, and remember to implement. So what is that thing you'll be implementing today? Thank you very much and have a great day. See you later, and bye.